Hello guys, how are you doing? This time around, I will upload a video that I only do on the Substack for the members there, just to give you a little bit of a taste of what I'm trying to do on my Substack, trying to both guide myself, but also you guys the best way possible. And roughly every day, the past 2 days we haven't done it, but anyways, you know, I'm trying to show you 3 stocks that has potential here and now. Obviously, some days there won't be any, therefore you cannot make a video. So I'm deciding to post this also on YouTube for you guys to see. And in this video, I have actually 3 uranium stocks. Usually it can be a mix of everything. Basically, it could be platinum mixed with a gold stock, with a uranium stock, and all that. But today we have 3 uranium stocks because I know many of you people like uranium. So yeah, I'm again showing 3 stocks here with an entry, with a stop loss, and how I would play it if I, you know, were to do it. Again, I'm not taking all of these setups here that I'm showing. It could be due for different reasons, but again, this is how I would do it, and you can choose to do as you may. Also here on the Substack, again, trying to post as much as possible. Even today here, a small post on shipping. Again, I looked through the shipping sector's charts that we're looking at, and just basically trying to post the setups there that looks the best. So again, a little bit of a post there that's also roughly 1 a day with regarding to the post. So again, check it out if that's anything for your liking. Let's dive into why we are here, and that is charting. As always, charting. So this is Centrus Energy. Basically hasn't done anything for 3 long years. 3 years, guys. It hasn't done anything. But I think there is an opportunity coming up here really soon, potentially, where you can play this with a very tight stop loss. And that's good because you typically want to be, you know, correct straight away or wrong straight away. And I think we need a little bit of history before we do anything, you know, into detail. Just look at the past 3 years, and basically we are going sideways, right? Just pinching, and you can see here we even broke down below, and now we're back above. So we're treating this as a false breakdown. Also, you have a ceiling here at roughly 57, where again we're being rejected it for the past 3 years. So what has this anything to do with where we are today? So this is for now the false breakdown. You can see we're actually breaking down quite a few times here, but we are creating a scenario where we have a, what's that, like 1 year worth of contraction, basically squeezing here heavily. And if we start to break here, basically getting above 40.3, I would become short-term extremely bullish, and that could spill over into the long-term time frames that we looked at, going higher from there. And the good thing is, if you are incorrect, the stop loss placement, at least according to how I see it, is just straight below here, roughly below there. So if you want to have a level to that, we can add it in here. I will say below here, and things should get really nasty below 37.6, 0.5, 0.6, you know. So if let's say we start to move, you come down, oops, you're out. You have to get out. It doesn't matter what happens after that. You have to protect yourself. So you're risking here, you know, roughly 7%. But again, this could spill. And the reason why I'm saying it could spill into the longer term is that potentially this false breakdown here could be where we start to potentially attack the upper blue wedge there. From false breakdowns usually comes a move to the other side of that previous formation, and that's when you have the possibility of doing a massive breakout, right? And so you're basically risking $2 to potentially gaining many multiples of that. So that's why I like LEU here. At least I'm not buying it here, but again, I like the setup here, and we don't need much to really get things going here. Basically getting above that 40.3 roughly is probably where we should see things starting to move. also here you have a roughly a gap here, so you can see the support and resistance zone on the 1 hourly, and that should be where we see some fireworks, hopefully. So that is one for you guys. And then we also have Elevate, and it has actually performed, you know, quite nicely if you measure from the lows. But ever since, we've basically gone sideways, doing absolutely nothing. And that is good. Why is that good? Because you need the calm periods to be able to enter into the long, the violent period, which comes after a long pause. And basically, you can see we have gone sideways. We had a great, again, summer of 2023, which is a great pop here. And when I saw this, I was like, yep, this is where we are definitely going to break into new all-time highs. But here we are. So again, I didn't expect this kind of pinch here, but it's actually extremely beautiful. Let's make it blue here just so you can distinguish between it. That's usually where we are going to see new highs, at least from the triangle high over here. Clearly, that was not the case. We had a major technical breakdown right there. You can see the grinding here, basically an inverted head and shoulders, excuse me, a head and shoulders pattern. We can measure that move also to see how far we went, or if we still have some way to go, potentially. So we have actually hit our target, which was roughly that low there. And then we did have a bounce, and then we had the 3 days where everything in the stock market basically puked big time. So again, we're going sideways for a long time. And where are we now? So ever since we had that false breakdown, we're basically back up here again. So how I see this here play out over the next week or two is that we are potentially in the making of an inverted head and shoulders, where the right shoulder could close the gap from that Friday pop, and then we are on the move, and then potentially you are trying to break out from the long-term period there. So again, I would again, you can play depending on how aggressive you are. I would personally, again, just wait to see if this plays out, right? And we're getting up to here, so getting above 0.37 is a major short-term level to get above. Big bottoming pattern, downtrend broken. A lot of good stuff is happening usually it's happening when that's the case. And again, if we start to move, again, stop loss, if you want to play with the stop loss, some people do, some people don't. But if we invalidate the neckline, that's probably where you should be considering too, that maybe now is not the time. If you want to, there's also some trend lines that maybe you can use. Again, you have to each to its own, right? And yeah, again, so we are now at 0.34. But I do think we do potentially, let's get that lower, and then we can potentially break here for Elevate. But again, keep in mind, you can see the white moving average is a mix of the 50, the 100, and 200. So it's basically like a, not an average. I'm not going to go into detail what it is, but it's just basically smoothing it out here, and we are definitely in a downtrend. So I'm not going to say here that we are going to pop big time. But yeah, that's Elevate for you. Obviously, if let's say we start to come down again here, this will just be extremely bad for the long-term time frame for Elevate. No question about that. So Boss Energy, you can see Boss Energy here has also done really well ever since we basically broke out in 2020. Massive move, sideways action, massive move again. And now we are testing, quite simply, we are testing these highs here and the retest bull flag here. So we basically have like a zone between 2.8 and roughly 3.2. And we are trying to hold here as we speak, on the weekly time frame, that is. And this is a measured move from this head and shoulders pattern where we're breaking. No retest. You usually see a retest, by the way, but clearly none was there on the weekly time frame at least. And then we ran all the way to the target into our support. So as long as we hold here, roughly around 3, we are still looking quite good. I will say this though, the one of the downsides is right now that we're actually below that average. You can see before we have been, coming up all the way, and now we're below. So we need to undo that and basically get back into this territory before, to undo that. But for now here, as long as we hold $3 for Boss Energy, I'm quite optimistic. Also because, again, multiple factors that we hit our head and shoulders target more or less to perfection. So we shall see how it goes. But I'm just going to check here if there's anything. I will do that. So that's the trend, and that's the false breakdown from the March 2020. That's I'm going to add that in, by the way. And yeah, so that's, you know, a taste of these three stocks that I'm doing roughly on the daily time, on a daily period. So again, if you're interested, check it out, guys. If not, as always, you may have a great day. And I just before I let you go, I did a recording with Triangle Investor, who's also, you know, deeply into the commodity space. It should be released on his YouTube channel tomorrow. So Triangle Investor, if you don't know him, he needs a follow from you for sure. Really good guy. So have a great day, guys. As always, it's been a pleasure. Cheers.